it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. I am he. And we have our panel today. First, let me say hello to Mr. Jermaine Parker. How you doing?
What's going on, brother? Happy to be back.
Well, you must have did okay because I am glad to have you back. So, welcome back. Absolutely. Absolutely. And next, we have Mr. Michael Berry. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good today. How are you? I see you
Beautiful.
doing well.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's a great day. The birds are chirping and all of that. I know we'll get into the chirping birds and some of the sore losers. Mr. Brad Compton, how you doing, sir?
Brother, I'm doing great. I'm not doing as well as you. I don't have the stogie, but I'm doing well. I'm doing really well.
Amen, brother. That's okay. That's okay. You got that Red Roof Inn wall behind you. I appreciate that. Shout out,
That's the Delta wall. That's the Delta wall. That's right.
I don't know, brother. That looks like the same wall in my hotels. I'm just saying. You got the right color. Hey, I know you're not at the Red Roof.
No.
Yeah, I know. I got you. And last but certainly least, not least, we have Miss Catherine Yolanda Jones.
Yes.
How you doing, Catherine?
I'm doing fantastic.
Mm-hmm. So, Catherine, you are the first person. You are the only person on here that hasn't been on here before. So, go ahead and introduce yourself so we know who you are. And
oh wow.
Yeah, go ahead, introduce yourself.
Just right on the hot seat, isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Yeah.
Who am I? Isn't it? Well, are we like in a psychology class? Is psychology 101? I feel like I am in psychology.
No, not bruh.
Because I still don't know the answer. Yeah, I still don't know the answer of who I am.
I guess I could do it like Dr. Phil because the one thing we both have in common is we don't have degrees in it. But go ahead. I digress. Go ahead.
So you're Dr. Parker now?
I am not.
Oh.
But neither is Dr. Phil. He's not a real doctor. So I'm
exactly. So you're going by Dr. Parker. Anyway, so hey guys, this isn't right. I haven't been on the show before. Help me out, Michael, Brad, Jermaine. What happened when y'all first was on the show?
You go ahead.
Okay. You basically say who you are, where you're from, what your background is, and how much you're going to get for each show. That's what we discussed. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't seen the check yet.
Yeah, y'all break it up. Y'all break it up real bad.
I must be on my Wi-Fi. I'm not using the Ethernet cable, huh? Anyway, I'm Catherine Waddell. Gosh, I don't know what I'm doing now. A few years ago, I did a podcast called This Needs to Be Said. And it sounded like a real hot show too, but then I kind of, I don't know what happened with that. And so Brian has this show now, and it's teasing me to want to try this again, to do media and TV and all of that stuff. So I don't know. I'm on a journey. I love helping people to figure out what is it they want to do. I love people being creative. I love people making something out of nothing. Remember when we talked about travel, Brian? We thought that show wasn't going to last that long, and it went pretty long.
It did.
Getting people to even think about it more. And I can't take credit for it, but a lot of Black people are now traveling since we did that show. So I don't know. I love to talk. I love to have a good time. I am not the weakest link on here. Brian is. And I'm happy to be a part of the conversation tonight.
Good job.
All right. No pressure.
No pressure.
All right, so let's get started. Let's get started then. So welcome to the show, Catherine. We appreciate you coming in. what I really wanted to do is hopefully, I'm gonna open it up to the election and everything. I do want to start some other panels in the future about what I'm titling Black in America, where we start talking about other stuff like, Black Lives Matter, defund the police, Black home ownership. Since I've got two realtors on, we can start talking about stuff like that, financial planning and things like that, that really need to talk more about our community. But it's hard to do that when the 800-pound orange gorilla in the room is, we just had an election last Tuesday, or a week from this past Tuesday, rather. Didn't find out the official results until Saturday, when the race was called by all the major news outlets that Joe Biden had exceeded the 270 electoral votes needed to take the White House. Since that time, it is now Thursday, and Trump has not conceded. Trump is not going to concede. But as of January the 20th, 2021 at 12:01, his ass ain't gonna be in the White House no more. So just wanted to open that up, because I know last time we were talking, it was Thursday, it was already after the election. And I had told y'all that I saw him potentially getting up to 306 electoral. Officially, he's either 290 or 279, depending on which outlet you go by. If you go by the AP and Fox News, he's at 290. You go by everybody else, he's at 279, because they already gave him Arizona. And now the big thing is that the Senate
You're
is
talking
really
about Joe Biden. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, you're right. Joe Biden is at two, whether he's at 279
right.
or whether he's at 290, he got enough to win. Pennsylvania basically pushed him over because he's leading in Pennsylvania by over 47,000 votes. So that wouldn't even trigger a recount because of the gap there. Arizona is a little tighter, but the last I looked, he was up still about 12,000 votes in Arizona. Even if that goes to a recount, he doesn't need it to win, but it would just be more icing on the cake. Georgia is going to go into a recount, but he was up in Georgia by 14,000 votes. He doesn't need those 16 either, but it'd be nice to have, because Georgia hasn't gone blue since they elected the first Black president, Bill Clinton. So all of this is going on, and now, of course, Trump is opening up cases, having Rudy Giuliani do press conferences in front of porn shops, and they're not. It's true. They're not wanting to concede. So what do you guys think? First of all, are you happy about the results? Joe won. Kamala won.
Well, I'm happy with what we have seen so far. I am looking at places in beliefs, though, because I don't think that Trump is going to give up office. I believe that he's going to stage a coup. He's already started with the Defense Department.
Yeah.
Finding people there, putting his own people in place.
Yep.
That's just the first part of his devious master plan. He's gonna be taken out the White House kicking and screaming.
I agree.
Which I would like to see, by the way. I would love to see the perk walk out the back of the White House. I would love to see that. Hair disheveled, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I'm going back and forth. I've been on both sides saying he's A, never going to concede, and B, he's going to try a coup, like you said. But now I think after today, I think there've been some cracks. I think we've heard a couple of things about people are trying to get to his ear. People are trying to talk to him about his legacy and about the things he can do from outside.
Yeah.
You lost. Don't make a mockery of this whole thing any more than it already is. Let's move. So I don't know. I don't know where I am. I don't know what. I don't know where I stand right now. What I believe, whether he's going to leave or not.
I'm with you guys. I'm happy with the results. I'm not quite sure how it's going to turn out. You know, the perk walk is, and that's a shame. Like I kind of really want to see that. I think like a lot of America, after having the TV show host as a president, you kind of want to see the final episode where he's like ripped out from the Resolute deaths and stuff. But I think it's not going to happen that way. He's not going to have a coup and stuff. I think there's enough fundamental things out there, as you can see right now, the lawsuits that he has are frivolous, and so he's trying to push it to the point where the state's electors cast their votes and stuff. I don't think it's going to get that far. I don't think that, because you see right now, all the lawyers are basically not willing to risk their license to say that it's fraud. Even in Arizona, they were talking about, well, we don't think it's fraud. There's some hiccups in the system, basically, is what they were alluding to. They accounted for some miscounted votes and stuff. And even the numbers that we're talking about in Arizona don't amount to enough to overturn the results of the election. Joe Biden is the president-elect. I know a lot of people are saying, let me rephrase that, a lot of white people are saying that he's not, and that the press can't call elections and stuff, which they were happy to do a couple of years ago when Hillary conceded and stuff, and he was nowhere close to his 270 at that point. But we understood what the numbers were going to look like. And but you have to understand, this country was based in hypocrisy. You know what I mean? This is the same country that was born in the premise that we're getting our freedom while we're denying a whole group of people their freedom. So I'm not surprised. That's just America for you, right? It's all about the hypocrisy of America.
Well, can y'all hear me okay? Because I took my headphones out.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Unfortunately.
But I don't know that I'm satisfied with the results. I'm interested because I feel like we're learning a lot more than I paid attention to 20 years ago when Bush, the dad Bush, was having the recount issue. Something was fraudulent for him, but 20 years ago, I didn't care as much as I do today about what's happening with the presidential election. I'm more upset that we don't pay attention to local elections, but that's only because I'm recently learning what really matters. But I am excited that Kamala is in the vice president seat. I was not interested in her until she and Biden got together. So, I mean, girl power there. I think it's kind of like letting your pants out after Thanksgiving and you now got a little space to add more food. So we're not satisfied with what happened. We're going to try to stuff in more. We do want to see Trump getting drugged from the White House. We do want to see that. We want to see the final episode, Jermaine, so I am with you on that. I think he's going to ride it all the way out. I mean, the truth is, while we do say that Joe Biden is the president-elect technically till December 14th, and that's something I just recently learned. So they can wait all the way to December 14th to give us what we already know. And that's what the reality show host is giving us. So I'm here for it. I'm here for the show. I don't want it to be over yet.
Well, the thing that they say is the only reason he's doing this, they still have the 2 seats in Georgia for the runoff on January the 5th. And he's really just doing this to keep energizing the base, to keep them riled up so they'll turn out for that primary. Because if they lose those 2 seats, then they lose the Senate. And if they lose the Senate, then Republicans are going to have to sit back in the passenger seat and watch Democrats drive for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
That's one way of looking at it. But to be honest with you, I don't think Trump cares about the Republicans at this point. He doesn't care about those.
He doesn't care about anyone.
No, Mike, I totally agree with you. Trump is a marketer. Trump likes to make himself always look like a winner. He likes to project strength, even though he's the weakest, most disgusting human being on the face of the earth.
Did you say the sinner? The sinner, not the winner. He's never the winner, but he's
no.
always the sinner.
In his mind, he always has to play himself out as the winner. I mean, my God, you've been through 6 bankruptcies. He likes to present himself as a winner. He's trying to figure out how to frame this in a way where it looks like, okay, I'm not going to concede. I'm just going to say that there's a whole lot of smoke, but I'm going to be a good American and go ahead and let this play itself out. He's trying to figure out how to make this look like he didn't really lose. That's why he's trying to make it seem like if it looks more like it was taken from me, well, then I didn't really lose. Mm-hmm. You guys just had it in for me. I was so good.
You has to play victim.
You know what?
He has to try to play victim.
Whoever his positive thinking coach is, I need them, because you, with a straight face, just said he went through 6 bankruptcies as if that was winning. That said 6 times you lost. When you
but think about it. Think about it.
I hear what I saw your face when you said it.
But he goes through bankruptcies and doesn't have to pay on anything. He walks away scot-free. Yeah,
he got bad credit. Right?
How many people got bad credit like that, and then Deutsche Bank will still give you $300 billion more?
Well, even while you're taking them to court, so they have a lawsuit going, but we'll give you some more money in the meantime to probably pay for the lawsuit you got against us. Is that what just happened? I heard that same headline. I was like,
yeah. See, we don't get money like that. I mean, they come repossess my car. I'm pretty done.
I can solve this for you right now. This is a short conversation. Hold the mirror up. We already know. They know when they saw you, you ain't had good credit. That you ain't gonna pay your bills. They already do.
You know you're auditioning for an invite for next week, right?
Well, I plan on not getting invited back, so I'm gonna get it all in this time.
Oh, you go in. Okay.
Yeah. If I'm not coming back, I already know. And then they say you don't pay anyway, so if I'm invited back, I might be late for work anyway.
You have to sign a 12-show contract. A 12. That's what he's giving up. Okay.
He's not. But Michael said he's not paying though. Is this invisible ink?
It's not his fault.
Michael said no money yet.
They don't took all the shit.
Yeah, see, I was waiting on my stimulus. I mean,
you might have voted wrong. You might have stopped your check.
But no. Seriously, there is a segment of people that I really want to talk to seriously right now, as we speak, and that would be white people. White people, I know that the last week has been very hard on you. I know that you are really expecting America to be great again. And we know that last Tuesday, you just knew that your God Emperor would rise back, would push back on the liberals, the socialists, the shithole countries. But unfortunately, it wasn't your time. That sick feeling you felt the next day, that feeling of disbelief, that's how we felt 4 years ago. Get over it.
I feel like there should have been some music playing behind it.
I'm looking at his face and this. Listen, he got on the clergy shirt. He has on a clergy shirt right now. He was getting ready to ask for an offering. It was about to happen. I saw it.
I just wanted to get that out there because when we woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning or woke up the next day and saw that the impossible actually happened, white people, that's how we felt. So yeah, I understand how you feel because a lot of us felt the same way 4 years ago. But you got to get, and like you told us, to not be sore losers and all this and everything else. Now you need to sit there and do that yourself.
Right. So Jermaine talked about the hypocrisy earlier, and I think that's exactly the point. Is that we saw, like, these folks act like videotape doesn't exist.
Right.
4 years ago. Now, each and every one of the major Republican stooges came out and said, Hillary needs to get over it. The Dems need to get over it. They need to move on. They lost. The impossible has happened. I don't understand what's the big deal. So
they gave her crap for not conceding immediately, but she did it the next day.
Absolutely. When the writing was on the wall, she conceded. And now here it is, the shoe is on the other foot because the shoe always goes. Right? I mean, that's the yin and the yang. It's always going to be on the opposite side of the field. And they act as though we've done them some great wrong. You know, people on the left, the socialists,
Right.
them some great wrong. But it's, you know, I hope the Dems take this lesson and play hardball this time. I hope, especially if they win the Senate, I hope they do pack the court. Whatever you want to call it, I hope they pack it and pack it. Put 17 justices on that court. You know what I mean? And make 11 of them left leaning. I mean, it's ridiculous because they are killers.
Make one of them. Make one of them judges AOC.
Hey,
It's a wrap. Oh, you'd own what they say, own the libs. Oh, you would own them forever. Put Maxine Waters and AOC on the court. Anyway.
Right.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, you said go all in. So yeah, and you know the crazy thing is that 4 years ago at this time, actually as of yesterday, Donald Trump was in the White House because Barack Obama invited him there. Melania Trump was in the White House because she was having tea with Michelle Obama. Mike Pence was meeting with Joe Biden. The actual transition of power was underway. None of them wanted that scumbag up in there, but they didn't do it because of their personal feelings or their egos or anything else. We show so much grace, and it's funny. Even just as Black folk, a lot of times, even when we get wrong, we show more grace than the people that wrong us. You know, to be the example every single time of, you know, you get mistreated, you still try to, you know, turn the other cheek and everything else. So I agree with Brad. You know, I think once we get in there, and that's why Georgia is so important. Even if you don't live in Georgia, just keep letting people that you know that live in Georgia, this is important. And you're right, Trump is trying to keep the focus on that. But the problem is this: if he's not on that ticket, they're in trouble down there in Georgia, and they know that. They know that what normally helps Loeffler and Perdue out is if Trump was on that same ballot, they'd have a better chance. But Trump's not on that ballot, and Loeffler didn't beat Warnock. Now, Perdue did come over Ossoff a little bit, but again, I think but Trump being on the ballot helped Perdue. Now that it's just mano a mano, they got a real good chance of a 50-50 majority. The only problem that I see with the 50-50 majority, unfortunately, was we have a senator in West Virginia named Joe Manchin that actually went on Fox News and basically said he ain't gonna go but so far with Democratic policies. So when they start talking about, because he's in West Virginia, so coal and all that big energy is big for him. So when you start talking about Green New Deals and cows farting too much and too much methane coming from that, he ain't gonna be with that. So there's gonna be a lot of things that they're gonna have to steal. The problem I got with Democrats is this: once they do have power, they fight with each other and don't get nothing done. Because when Barack Obama had a Democratic Congress and Senate, he still had to fight with his own people just to get stuff done. So I don't know how much is gonna get done.
Well, a couple points. So you talk about the Georgia race and Donald Trump having to be on a ticket. And I think that's the reason that we're talking about this fraud and this stuff right there, because if the South doesn't love anything, it loves a good sob story of comeback, right? You know, that's why we still have Confederate flags flying around, because, you know, the South will rise again. And I still don't know what that means. And so the problem is that, yeah, people do have to turn out because enraged, you know, so fear, emotional stuff. I think Mike will tell you from a real estate thing, I don't really sell houses on facts. I sell houses on emotion. Like, you love this house, you love this, because emotions carries more than rational thought carries. And so that's why his whole platform has been on fear, right? The fear that they're going to mess with the suburbs, and who is they? You know, they're going to hurt the kids, and who is they? We know who those people are and stuff. And the big thing that, too, I would tell you is that the problem with the Democratic Party is that only in this country would Manchin and AOC be in the same party. The party is way too diverse, but there's a reason for that, right? You know, you need the party support in order to win races. Otherwise, you're just a third party out there slacking off. I've come on here and I've said it many times that I think we need our own party and stuff. And I would continue to say that. But in terms of presidential stuff, in order to get your 270 with the electoral college being there, with any other race, you could win third party. The presidency, it's got to be a two-party race because of the outdated electoral college. You can't win by popular vote. Right. But like I said, that's the reason that Democrats can't really get anywhere, because they're not really one unified party. There are several parties that have been forced to cooperate to basically say we're not over there with them, so we're going to pull our wagons together over here.
That's true.
It's very risky. I was talking to my daughter just the other day about a third party or fourth party. It's very risky because you start shaving numbers off your total, giving it to a third party like with Ross Perot, or it's difficult because you're not willing to risk that. Are you willing to have AOC branch off and run for presidency as a third party? We love her to death, but would she in the long run end up hurting us?
Yes.
Well,
I agree with you. We do need additional parties,
I would say this real quick. Don't be afraid of that kind of stuff. Fear is the enemy, because white people were not afraid to start a Tea Party. And what they did was they got a swell of support that was large enough that they were able to pimp the major party to say, hey, you can either co-sign some of our stuff, or we'll just split your numbers. And we could do the same thing to the Democratic Party. Instead of begging them, we could leverage them and say, hey, look, we've got enough support for the things that we want to do. And so what's going to happen is either you're going to come and bend to us, or you're going to let Republicans beat you every day. So it is what it is.
Well, so the party would stay as one because they're being pulled further and further to the left.
Well, like I said, the Tea Party wasn't really an official party. It was more of a movement and stuff.
That's right.
But there was enough support there to make Republicans recognize them and support their ideals.
Well, what they started doing too, though, Jermaine, to your point, they started primarying them and making them move one direction during the primary. And if by the grace of God they win the primary, then they start moving back more towards the center. Yeah. But we don't primary Democrats. We let Elliot Engels sit in office forever until Jamal Bowman comes and says, no, you don't need that no more. You know, and I think the threat of primaries are going to start to happen more, where they say, you know what, if you're not going to move a little bit more progressive and you're going to stay moderate. See, they don't want to stay moderate anymore. A lot of the moderates want to stay moderate, but there's a big progressive wing of the Democratic Party that is growing and swelling and saying, you know what, you keep saying not now, this is not our time. Let's just work around the edges and get little things done. And these progressives are coming in saying, no, we need $15 an hour minimum wage. We need better regulations. We need a Green New Deal. We need all these different things. And it sounds radical. It sounds nuts to a lot of people. A couple of years ago, people thought Bernie Sanders was saying a bunch of radical stuff. And then they started adopting a lot of his policies. So, you know, that's the thing is that if they start feeling the threat, because I can guarantee you right now, Chuck Schumer, Kirsten Gillibrand, AOC might be coming for that Senate seat.
And
I got that feeling.
And she should get it. And like you said,
she would get it.
Yeah, she would get it. And this stuff's not radical. Think about this election. This is one of the elections. It's just so funny about Democrat stuff. Republicans are spending this is a win, and Democrats who've obviously won are cowering like it's a loss. It's crazy because you got to think about how many people Florida $15 an hour? They approved that. Every state that had marijuana on the ballot voted to legalize it. There were states, was it Washington, went with the illicit drugs and legalized those, or
I think that was Oregon. Yeah, I think it was Oregon.
Yeah,
they did that, and so there were a lot of progressive issues on ballots that people wanted. This progressiveness is not an aberration. It's not dragging down the party. It's what people want to see happen. And so there are a lot of people who don't want things to change, because when things change, where's my place in that? We know where AOC and AOC +3, we know where they're going to be in that, but where does Chuck Schumer end up in that? He gets thrown out in that. So if there's a, hey, hold your horses, hold your horses. But, you know, as Black people, we've been told that all the time, you know, like, hey, look, you're cool living in this neighborhood, you know, with your friends. It's probably safe for you guys there. We've always been told to hold our places. That's why, intrinsically, we talk about going back to Bush and the hanging Chad's election stuff and not being really involved in that and stuff. Because honestly, as Black Americans, what does it matter as long as white people are still in power? Which white people are in power? Is it a little bit worse or a little bit better? Sure, a little bit. But it's never drastically different for us, no matter who's it, whether it's D's or R's in power and stuff, because the D's don't want to do anything, and the R's, okay, they want to take stuff away. But you know what? When you grow up broke, you just understand how to be broke.
My thing is, we have more power on the local level than anything else, and it sounds good to go ahead and organize a party. But what I noticed on the ballot this year that I've never seen before, and I do vote frequently, is that we had 3 additional parties in a presidential seat. And to me, it was just dumb, because you were weak under in the other categories we had to vote for you. So there was no straight ticket for the Green Party. There was no straight ticket for the Constitutional Party. So we have to go through and really know who you are and how you're supposed to market. There were people who had signs in my district that weren't even somebody I could vote for in my district. So there were so many things during this time that I realized just we're not doing it right on the local level. Everything that we touch in our neighborhood, in our home, everything we're touching right now, there is a commissioner that was elected into a seat. And if he was appointed to that seat, you probably had the ability to vote for the person who appointed them to that seat. So we have so much power, but we let our water be nasty, Flint, but we just keep going on, and we want to make the news, and we want the whole world to get together and sing Kumbaya and send us bottled water. You need to be firing people. We get upset and say that the government works for us. That's city, county, state, all of them work for us. If they approve something in this presidential race, why that's the reason I'm more indifferent than having a satisfied feeling about this election, is because while they can say on the federal level that they will approve things that we want on the ballot, like you were saying, Jermaine, on my city level, if my mayor Lightskin ain't with it, and my governor Stupor ain't with it, then it doesn't matter what Biden and Kamala promise out there. I got to convince the people within our city, within our 100 countries in North Carolina, within North Carolina, that we all agree that we want those things here too. It's allowed out there. Can we have it here too? And so it's so much that we can do on this level. And we wouldn't necessarily need to create another political party to force any kind of votes. We just go about our day-to-day life. I think we make voting too hard. What I loved that was so present, I thought, because I've never lived anywhere other than Charlotte, I didn't know that I could do absentee ballot voting just sitting at home. And from this year on, and probably because we like taking pictures, we'll go, but from this year on, I'm going to know that you can be at home and keep your life going, have your ballot online or have it mailed to you so you can see who's coming up, so that you don't have any surprise names because they didn't put a yard sign in. I think anybody who is opposed, if you are in the Green Party or any other party other than Republican and Democrat, I think that you need to have somebody that's opposing all other categories, because you're not really doing anything but being deceptive. Politics is all around us. We're involved in politics, but politicians are governed by what we allow to happen. Now, I have been doing a media company. I've been an independent business owner for 11 years. I ask people to give me $1, they won't give me $1. But at the gas pump, you let people take 9/10 of a cent from you for every time you click that pump. And that's okay with you. You already pumping gas. The oil company ain't hurting for 9/10 of a cent of tax. Why can't it just be $1.99? Not $1.99 9/10. What does it matter? But if you think about how many people go through, 9/10 of a cent add up real quick. So I say give us the 9/10 of a cent. Y'all want to do something. But we let things happen. We allow people to pick our pocket, and we don't say nothing about it. But if I come to you straight on and say, hey, Brian, give me $1. I ain't got it this week. Things got hard. I can't help you out. But you go and let somebody pickpocket you all around the city. You don't know why your water bill keep going up. Duke Energy got the same light bulbs, light energy coming in your house, but they need more money so they can put more coal ash Over at Lake Norman, where I can't live nowhere, is it Lake Wiley, wherever they dumping the coal ash. And unless those people get upset and sue Duke Energy, none of us know anything about it anyway. You know, we can't have fresh tap water. You got to go get a filtration system. It's too much for basic stuff that we already are being affected by, and we ain't saying nothing. And I think if we say something on the ground, that when we have our election next year for mayor, they only give us about 2 months, a month and a half or 2 months to know who's running for mayor or not. And they plan on us missing next November's vote by moving like that. We're going to be thinking about the inauguration and Trump kicking and screaming out of the White House, and they are already going to be hitting the ground running because they ain't got to register to be the mayoral candidate until July. And then November, we're voting for them, or you're missing the vote. And you're going to wonder, dang, are those the signs from last year? No, they're getting over with another vote and get another mayor. And she's trying to get a Senate seat or some other seat. Vi Lyles is trying to get another seat with the Biden cabinet, she said. She didn't do a good job in Charlotte. I hope if they do take her, they taking her to like walk her out slowly, because she's not doing nothing here.
She's not trying to pull an Anthony Fox where, you know, he ended up as Obama's transportation secretary.
Yes, she is. I hope they let her be the shoestring secretary. I can't stand her. She acts so light skinned.
Hey, look,
yeah,
I understand what you're saying, and so and just from a recap from my previous thing about that is that what it is that you're absolutely right. I talk about the local stuff being really important and where we can really draw our power and stuff. And again, it's talking about when it comes to presidential elections, it's impossible to run a third party because of the 270 number that you have to have. And so, but locally, we can have those kind of impacts because it's popular vote. It's popular vote. You can run a third. And the big thing is that instead of asking candidates to take up our issues, we need to have candidates that have our issues.
Yes.
And so, and that's where that idea comes from, that we need our own independent. Instead of asking Democrats, hey, Sean King, who I have a love-hate relationship with, is constantly talking about, well, Joe Biden owes us. He owes us. And there's a difference between somebody who owes you and ownership, right? Somebody who is in the fight with you because they have a piece and a responsibility to the cause, as opposed to somebody who's an ally who could choose not to ally at any time and leave you in the dust. And so that's where that comes from for me. And even if it's not, and if we have enough of that, we can move national politics to from the local level. Just look at Stacey Abrams and what she did in Georgia and her game plan to flip that state stuff. That was grassroots, pounding on doors, getting people registered, putting out the message. That was a whole. The reason that state is blue is not because of the enthusiasm of Joe Biden, but because Stacey Abrams made it important for people and did the work on the ground to get people registered. And that's what we need to do everywhere, because if we did that as a community, like I said, we're only 13% of the national population, but if you start looking at cities like Detroit, when you look at Philadelphia, even if you look in the Charlotte, which is Democratic leaning, there's a lot of power to be had there if we organize. And that's really my big message. If we organize, whether it be officially with a party, whether it just be like the Tea Party, that was more of a movement, that fielded a couple candidates under that banner and stuff, and said, hey, we're going to move the goalposts the way we want to move them, and we're not going to be reactionary anymore.
I think what you're saying, I'm totally agreeing with what you're saying. If what you say is done, they do the grassroots on the local level where it is a popular vote, it will earn Senate seats and it will earn a place in a presidential race. But I'm noticing that they're trying to go top down as opposed to starting at the bottom. Like, we are afraid. A lot of us are already at the bottom. So people are afraid to be at the bottom and ask for what is perceived a little seat. But if people love you in your city, you're a local celebrity and you're going to be in, the Senate seat for us. And we know that you care about our issues. Alma Adams is the only one that I know for sure who cares about the Black community and small businesses. I have not been to any of her small business consortium, anything, because I just haven't. But I know she has them, and she's consistent with it, and they have a consistent process. Now, the other people, Joyce Waddell, can't stand her. Can't stand her when I look at her. She seems dangerously dizzy. We need people that really care about what's going on in the community. I'm serious. We have some people, what I've learned, you don't have to be smart. We all, I think, have learned that. You don't have to have a government background.
No.
You don't have to care about people to get one of these seats, but we want that to be different. But I'm just saying, if the Green parties or the Constitutional Party, and I can't think of what the third one was, but it was 5 on our ticket for North Carolina. Libertarian, right. So if those 3 categories would have had, I would have been impressed, because I'm unaffiliated. So I vote for whoever I want to. And you could have had my attention if you would have had somebody who was opposing some of the people who were running unopposed on the ticket. I don't care for soil and water conservation, oppose them. The water, electricity, whatever we got, oppose them. If you had somebody in that seat, it would show me that you're serious. Otherwise, you just, in the presidential, you just want to run to the front of the line. I can't respect that. But for the other people who have taken the time to build up the party, that's why they're strong. That's why we want to dismantle them. Do what they did, and do it with a sizzle.
Great. I'm with you too, Catherine. I think you had a good point too. If we can't get power of the local, city, and state government, a lot of times the federal doesn't matter, because so many things are left up to the states to decide. So you can have a federal minimum wage. The states adopt their own if they want to go higher or not. When it came to the Affordable Care Act, and there was Medicare expansion, all the Republican governors said, no, we don't want that. Mitch McConnell's Kentucky, Lindsey Graham, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, they ain't want no part of it because it had Obama's name all over it. But you're sitting there pissing on your constituents because of that. So you're right. We have to start understanding that elections don't happen every 4 years. So we need to get out of this mindset that the next election that means anything is going to be 2024. They're already talking about who's running for 2024.
Which is a distraction, and that's a distraction from whatever this person promised, whatever Biden has promised. If I can keep you talking about the next 4 years, all you're going to be doing is anticipating the next 4 years. You will not do nothing in your cities that's going to really make him look good. It's not going to benefit. It's going to be a neutral until we get over here to make you some more lie promises. That's what it sounds like, and that's unfortunate. So I hope that y'all ringing the bell, since I might not be invited back, and let people know, be paying attention to their local elections, because
it's a high, right? So the entire country got high off of this. The last calendar year, we've been high off of this election last Tuesday, and of course they want more. The networks want more. The individual politicians want more. And the advertisers, everybody wants more. So it's going to be hard to wean ourselves off of what we just came off of. Of course they're going to talk about it.
I'm saying let's hit us up with a local drug. Let's get that high over local drugs. I'm all about it. Let's get that high over local. I said local drugs over local politics.
Elections. That's right.
Well, no, we know what you're going to do after the show. Apparently, you might be over there.
Well, I mean, you're a bad influence. You got on with the boss stogie. That lets me know where I am in a hierarchy of things. You introduced me last. I wasn't given no concessions, nothing. Exactly. None of the gentlemen have a stogie, so I know that you letting us know who's in charge. But I'm like low, and then you're talking about racial issues here, and I'm still low on the totem pole. Just
you're the lightest one out here. That's right. I mean, y'all go last. We've been going, light skin had been in for a very long time when I was in school. Light skin and bow-legged. So I'm going to get to talk first this time. The teacher always called on y'all first.
The bow-legged people, really?
Light skin and bow-legged.
Wow.
It's like when
talk about it, Brian.
Staff Chris Williams.
Yeah. Forget you, Christopher Williams. Yeah.
So last night I heard from an old college friend. I haven't seen him in 30 some odd years. White guy, We live a couple of doors down from each other, but we connected and we laugh like 7-year-olds. It's fun, fun, fun. So last night we get to talking and texting, and eventually it turns to politics. And he is exactly what we talked about a week ago of, how did they get here? They're not just Republicans where they're conservative and they believe in the trickle down. No, these people are deep in a well where their reality is a little warped. Now, I don't think he's that far. We love you, Nick, but you're crazy. How did they get this far where this coming weekend, what is it, the Million MAGA March?
The Million MAGA March.
Right. So I think in the immediate sense, we're talking about, those folks, I don't think there's much of an issue there. But you're talking about these militias, these organized groups, these groups that the FBI has called the number one, threat against America right now is these folks. They're not going to take this easy. And they're waiting for orders. They're kind of waiting to see what Trump is going to do, how he's going to play this. I don't know. I don't want to be too far out and paranoid, but I think these next couple of weeks is going to be very interesting to see how they play out, who does what, and what the reaction is to those groups.
I don't think you.
Did Nick say he was going to march?
No, he's not going to.
I thought that's
where
the story was going. I didn't know where he came.
He was your classic Fox News. All points from Fox News. I mean, and we talked about everything from Obama to Ronald Reagan. I mean, we talked about everything, and it's the dead hard line Fox News. I don't get my information from any other source unless it comes from the Fox News tree, and that's scary because Fox News. I think they ought to be held accountable for what they put out. I'm sure a lot of you guys. I watch a lot of Fox News. Because I just want to see how bad in little spurts. I can only take it 5 and 10 minute spurts because it riles me up. So
I used to listen to Limbaugh.
They need to be held accountable. Mm-hmm. You listen to who?
Rush Limbaugh.
Okay.
I dislike Michael Baisden for that same reason. Just anything he say, I just want to be sure I still don't like it. So I tune in once in a while. So I get it. Nothing political, but I don't like him.
I didn't know we were hating Michael Baisden now.
Oh, I've been doing it. I just got to keep it up. I check in. He has an online thing now.
Okay.
I'm on the fan page and everything.
As a hater.
In other words, you sound like a stalker.
Intensive investigation is what she normally calls it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I did just research.
Here's Butterfly 305. There she is.
Oh Lord,
Michael, what were you gonna say? Because I know you were about to chime in.
Yeah, I lost my whole train of thought with the whole Michael Baisden thing. but what I think I was going to say, echoing what Brad was saying, is that it's going to be one of the next few weeks, which are going to be interesting. It's going to be the next couple of months because those people who have that mindset are not giving up anytime soon.
Correct.
And they have guns. And they're angry.
Yes. Mike, that's my fear. Well, not my fear. It's what I know is that on January the 20th, 2021, Trumpism doesn't die. He has created a cult of followers that even when he does leave, the reason that the Republicans won't say anything against him is they're afraid he will take a lot of people with him that were not, just like him, not true Republicans. They were Trump followers. That base of people is so big to them that they understand that if they mobilize and they primary them and they go against them, my God, like I said, Georgia, you got a QAnon candidate, so they know the power of Trump, whether he's behind that Resolute desk or if he's creating his own television network. The thing that I know that we really need to do, and Joe Biden, I know you listen to this show. I see you on here all the time. And Kamala, good to have you, girl. But what we need to do is make sure that Attorney General, whoever it is, goes after Trump, because if you don't, he will keep saying for the next 4 years, I might run.
Oh, it's not a might, he will.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what's going to happen is, and the Republicans are hating this because it's freezing them out. So whether it was Rubio or anybody else that had aspirations of running in 2024, well, if Trump is going to run, that basically kills all of that because they know they can't beat it.
Yep.
So if you give him a pulpit for the next 4 years, number one, he's going to do tweeting and everything else against the Biden administration. That's going to be in and of itself. But he can't do that from a cell. He can't do that while he's litigating. I don't think he's going to jail, but I think he's got a lot of lawsuits waiting for him on January the 20th, 2021.
I would say this for everybody, and let's you not forget that over 70 million people voted for him, but those 70 million people hated you before Trump got in office. They didn't just start hating people. They didn't just start disregarding the situations of the people. Flint's been going on. I mean, how many, we've been dying in the streets for police brutality and stuff. This is not a new situation. I wouldn't be any more fearful for the next couple of weeks than I've been for the last couple decades, because those same people, I think you asked a question about how do these people get here? Well, I mean, you are what you eat, right? And part of what you ingest is the news that you get too. And so as long as people believe that the South didn't fight over slavery, as long as, you know what I mean? Because, hey, Americans still never officially apologized. Now, they've apologized for locking the Japanese internment and stuff like that. They've apologized for a lot of stuff. They still didn't apologize for their stuff.
They let y'all stay here. Yeah, listen, you grew up in a black household. Your apology was that I allowed you to live here. I allowed you to, they allow you to go to work and pay them taxes. All these allowances you're getting, and now y'all want reparations. Y'all asking for more stuff.
That's why I brought her on, because I knew she was going to say y'all. Go. She let it slip out. She said y'all.
But you made me angry.
My whole point is that you're like, the big thing for us is that, Trump is breaking some norms, but he's been breaking down those norms for the last 4 years. So who wouldn't think that he wouldn't break all the dishes before he left the house anyway? But I mean, seriously, and as a realtor, I've had to deal with foreclosures and stuff. And when people leave their house when they think they've been wrong and stuff, they don't clean up first.
So Jermaine,
they wreck everything on the way out. And
Jermaine, are you saying Donald Trump is gonna put his feet up on Charlie Murphy's couch?
Oh yeah.
I'm saying he's gonna steal a car.
You say he's gonna steal what?
And resell it. That's what I'm saying.
Quick question: What's his next move? What does he do? What's he doing 6 months from now? Is he
a month from now? 2 months from now, he's doing a reality show. He need wait 6 months. His reality show is going to contest the inauguration. He is going to launch his reality show on January 20th, and that's it. We're going to be trying to watch Trump instead of the inauguration. January 20th, reality show.
You see how he's been fighting with Fox News. My thing is, I think that he's going to get his own network, so he can directly speak to his propaganda and stuff. I think that'll happen. You'll see that happen. You'll see him, and a lot of people don't give him enough credit, because he can't be an idiot and brilliant at the same time. The dichotomy of that doesn't work out. But I think that you'll see his campaign and the people in his campaign start to put their weight behind these local elections, because they understand how important they are and stuff. You'll see that he'll claim victories for people. He'll speak. He's going to speak at rallies for people, right?
Yeah.
So
and he's going to have
all that stuff. He's going to set himself up to continue to be a prominent member within the community, so he doesn't lose power, and so he does get to 2024. So that's what you're going to see from him. That he's going to consolidate, he's going to revamp, consolidate, and expand his base.
So, Two quick questions before we leave that panel. If he sets up his own entertainment group, which we've heard rumors of, does Fox turn on him? And B, do you think he's going to go to Georgia for these 2 Senate elections and campaign for either or both of those?
I don't think he campaigns for either one of those seats.
Okay.
And I think that Fox, again, is in the same position that a lot of Republican candidates are in. They can't turn on him. Their opportunity to turn on him was years ago. They passed on it, and they legitimized him. And so he's the thing, right? And even if you prosecute them and stuff, it doesn't matter. You just martyr them because it just goes to the whole thing that the liberals they're coming for me. Do lock him up and stuff. I think it makes him more popular with his base and stuff because he comes out a hero and stuff. He's now the white Mandela, Nelson Mandela. You know what I mean?
Really is.
You know, and so whatever I don't care if it's like a week he has to serve or whatever, or it's a suspended sentence. That's what happens and stuff. That's the like going after them. And if you see people not going after them, it's for that reason.
They're hamstrung because, to your point, Trump likes to lay seeds down. Like he laid seeds down about if I don't win, it's rigged. He did that with Fox News. He started saying, yeah, you know, Fox, they just been changing lately. When they have Donna Brazile on there, or when Chris Wallace asked him tough questions, or Neil Cavuto the other day breaks away from Kayleigh McEnany making all those crazy allegations. He's been laying the groundwork that, man, if Els was still there, it wouldn't be going on like this, and all this stuff is changing. So even the people at Fox News, from the news people to the opinion host, it's almost like two totally different stations.
Yeah.
But they know that their viewership will not stand for Laura Ingraham, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, all those crazies now turning on Trump. He brought you to the dance. He's gave you your best ratings. You making $20 million a year sitting in your house, talking about you can't catch coronavirus and everything else. They got to do that because they are afraid of him coming up with another network and making him irrelevant. They know he can. They know he can do it. They know he can.
It doesn't.
And he's gonna pull. He's gonna pull that top talent. I mean, he's gonna pull.
Yep.
Sean Hannity and probably the morning folks because he watches all morning.
Yep. Judge Janine gonna be first one in line. She loves him to death.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yes. It's gonna be ridiculous, but he's gonna still hold rallies. He's gonna have Make America Great Again rallies. This is, the thing about Trump is he's not really a tactician where you got to figure out what's his next play. He telegraphs everything. He loves flattery. He loves praise. He loves standing in front of an audience, even if he's stupidly talking about damn water pressure and how many times you got to flush a toilet. And they're eating it all up because he's talking about, I don't want to say the other thing. Okay, I'll say it. Flush your toilet. He said toilet. And they're going crazy.
Yeah.
But Joe Biden is the one with dementia. Person, man, woman, camera, TV.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. They still follow this fool, so they're gonna keep following.
Understand, being a fan is short for being a fanatic, and so they're just fanatical and stuff. And so, I mean, that's kind of like, hey, look, the Panthers are sucking this year. I'm still rooting for them. I ain't got no real reason to, but here I am.
You know what? We can't laugh because the Cowboys really make you hang your head right about now.
Hey, look, y'all root for first downs.
Don't bring the Cowboys.
You got whatever win you can get, right?
But we a fan. It don't matter. The whole point of this conversation was about losing fans, right? We started with Donald Trump. I waited for another example, and I safely entered this conversation. You got
DC for L. You went DC for L as an example.
But this the whole point, though. But everybody's happy about it, and we're a fan.
No, I'm happy that they losing. Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay, no, you see, you're not listening. No,
there's a lot of parallels.
You actually got a great point. As far as when you talk about being delusional, when you have no shot of going anywhere, you still think you're going to the Super Bowl. You kind of
no. We don't think that.
You talking about me?
For the games.
No. I didn't mean the Rams fan or the Giants fan.
We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl.
We're going to the playoffs at least.
Okay, well, I just want to know how come Michael only got one name.
Well, the NFC East has to send a representative,
Exactly.
and I actually have you guys beating on the
Giants
note, the Eagles. I have you guys
Ryan,
beating the Eagles
Dr. Phil Parker.
Yes.
I have a question. More irrelevance.
What's your question?
Michael only has one name. Is he like Oprah?
Yes.
Yeah, he kind of is.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just need to know. I mean, y'all weren't telling me much. I got to get all the information I can on my first and last visit. Yes.
Him and his wife go by just their first names, just Michael and Mark.
Just his first name. So y'all, Mr. and Mrs. Michael.
No. Mm-hmm.
First initial.
Eminem.
Wait, she go by her first initial?
No, her first name. They just first name people. Michael, Marcus. That's it. That's all you got to know.
Okay.
You know
Oh,
last
okay.
name.
I mean, all right.
Yeah, that's how we do in New York.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
if you
okay.
happen to slip up and call her Mavis instead of Marvis, she doesn't mind. But just don't just don't make that mistake too often.
Oh.
And tell her how good the
Sound like y'all know. Sound like y'all had experience.
Tell her how good.
Wait a minute. We bringing weapons to the show?
So I get the knife, huh?
You will get guilty calling Mavis.
I mean, he
She's
pulled that
gonna
out. Michael, you probably opened that knife like this right here, didn't you? It went like this real easy. It clicked in place. Oh, you just with one hand?
Bringing knives out?
Oh, you got a weapon too? Everybody got a weapon?
Yeah.
You have to do the show.
Okay.
Hey, I live in the suburbs around them people.
Yeah.
Even when you move on up, you got to protect
up on my
yourself.
desk.
Wow, that's
how we do. That's how we do.
As a
Well,
military-
listen, I know we're running short on time, but you know, the biggest thing too that, you know, Joe Biden in his acceptance speech had made a mention that he understood that African Americans brought him across the finish line, which we did. We the ones that even got him out of the primary. And he made the comment, "You've had my back, I'm gonna have yours." So that the jury is still out on that. That is the expectation now is that, Joe, we got you in the White House. We want to see representation, but even more than that, we want to see actual policies now that actually impact our communities. Don't get in there and sit there and come think you can see us every 4 years, because if you try to pull that this time, you will be a one-term president too. Promise.
So, quick question based on that. I mean, that's probably another show. But what are our asks? What are we asking for? Because, you know, 8 years or 4 years later, we have black folks saying, "Oh, Obama, he didn't do anything for black folks." Well, you know, the reverse of that question is, what did we ask for? What did we demand as a group? What did we say we needed? I don't know. What is our ask? He's not going to deliver us anything, right?
Well, let me put a caveat on what you're saying, Brad. You're saying, what is our ask? But I also want us to understand, I do this with my husband all the time. I say, we should go do something, and it really means he should go do it. So we elected, we said.
And he's right there. So
That's another show. That's another show too.
No, but the point is, we want to know what. I can't get it out now. Stop, guys, because all of these are husbands on here, and my husband's listening right now. The point is, whatever we're asking Joe to do, we better be ready to put in the work for it on the local level. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I'm glad I finally got that out. But so when we say him, we really mean us.
Right. That's the point.
Yes.
What are we asking? Because I don't know if we.
No. What are we going to do? Because when we ask for it, we're going to have to do the work.
Well, right.
Yes.
Right. What policies do we want? What do we like to see? You know what I mean? And what are we willing to do?
Yeah, they ain't listen that time. They might listen this time.
I'm gonna say home ownership, affordable housing, because rent control is crazy. And whether you're in Charlotte, whether you're in New York, rents are crazy. People are having to work 3-4 jobs just to be able to be broke. There's a lot of equity that's still out there that we need to have happen for our communities and everything else. There's a lot of things but you're right, Catherine. We need to sit there and not just say, okay, we're telling you what we want now, you go do it, and we'll just sit there like this. Can't be that.
Yeah.
Can't be that. But what I do know is that you better be the biggest cheerleader in DC about it. You better have a lot of folks in your cabinet that's going after it, whether it's in those cabinets of HUD and Secretary of Education and all those different things. We need access. Access is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
We need access. We need a seat at the table. Like Jermaine said earlier, when it was just white folks winning, it didn't matter if it was this one or that one. They still wasn't going to do anything for us. But now they I don't know if they realize, because I know that the Cubans down in Miami showed Joe Biden, it's going to take a lot more than that. We ain't going to ride with you this time, partner. So that there is power there.
No.
That's why he lost Florida, and people started going, "Oh, damn, Trump about to win again." Everybody started drinking hard, and because the Cubans let him down. But the reason is because Republicans did a great job of penciling them in as socialists.
Yes.
You played on somebody's fears. I came from a socialist country. And let me say this real quick too.
Many
Democrats
years
do
ago.
a bad job with identity. When Republicans identify you as something, challenge them on that. When they call you a socialist, is that really a bad thing? Because really socialism is government taking over of programs, right? Who employs
Well, we don't believe in socialism here except for police, fire, water,
and buildings.
Gotta roads,
protect the buildings and the street lights.
Social Security, Medicare,
Social Security.
Medicaid, right? The big ones.
Yeah.
Well, as long as they're given money.
They use socialism like it's this boogeyman, and we just let them do it. When they start saying we don't want social, ask them.
Right.
What is socialism? Tell me what you think socialism is.
And
Because
just
they
like
thinking
you
about
said,
Castro and all that. That ain't socialism.
just like you said, Fox and that machine did an excellent job.
He did.
Time they brought someone on, every politician that they talked about, they painted them as a far left wing socialist. Even today, they're talking about AOC
Plus three.
what do they call them, the Fantastic Four or whatever. there's infighting in the party because they're trying to pull the party far left.
Correct.
That's not what's happening, but that's what they're telling their folks, and they never leave the machine. They're always locked in.
Correct. Correct.
Just like we are always locked into in power, they are always locked in.
Absolutely.
I don't think you can say that that's not happening.
Your head almost filled up that frame right there. Can you adjust your frame, Brian? No.
It's in the mail, Brian. It's in the mail.
I mean, he posing and profiling. I mean, your head is not able to fit in the frame no more. Wow.
My man.
Is there a pin for his head? It's getting too big.
You know we love you, Brian.
Yeah, I tell you.
Right.
With friends like these, you know what they say.
I'm saying.
Well, anyway, I'm going to end this one. And Catherine, there will be a vote on whether you come back again. Anyway.
I mean, well, yeah, since I don't know how your politics work around here, is it a popular vote or electoral college?
Just get him a bag of ribs. Get him a bag of ribs. Have
That's it. I'm easily persuadable.
Right.
A stogie or some Uncle Nearest. I'm just saying.
Uncle Nearest?
Oh, absolutely, Uncle Nearest.
Yeah. I don't know about Uncle Nearest.
Brian will tell you all about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Next time y'all come over, we'll have some Uncle Nearest and some.
Yeah, you keep not letting me come over there. Every time I say I'm on my way, y'all keep not calling me back. That's a sign. We be talking real good up until I say, well, we're not coming over, and then it's like flatline. Yeah. Okay.
There you go. And with that
it's
said,
an electoral college. I understand. It was nice meeting everyone.
That's right. And with that said, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for In Power. Remember, we do this every single week. If you would like to be on the panel, just email us at theparkermedia@gmail.com. Also, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel under In Power TV Network, also on Facebook and Instagram, to keep up with all the updates and everything else that we do. Head to Head Sports will be on tomorrow as well. Remember, we also do live streaming and on demand. And if you are looking to advertise any events, any services or goods that you provide, please reach out to us as well. With that said, I'm going to thank my panelists, Jermaine Parker, Michael Berry, Brad Compton, and Catherine Jones. He changed it on the thing. It says Catherine Jones now.
Yes, because I think I said Catherine Waddell, and from over on the other side of the room, I heard him say, you said Waddell again. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have to rename that.
Hey, that's good work right there. That's good work right there.
Put it in, CJ. Put it in, CJ. That's right. That's right.
He said, I better get it right.
You better get it right.
I guess he can't.
Right there.
I guess he got to do something. He can't threaten to beat the black off of you. Anyway.
Get him.
I'm gonna end that, and I can edit this, so you can say whatever
it's
you
your
want.
house. It's your house. You never be the person at their own house. I just got to bring him over my house and whip his butt. It's okay. You win. Y'all win. I got one of y'all at the house that I got. I can't talk to.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You do.
I was very tame tonight, just so y'all know when y'all vote.
That is true. That is true. All
Got
right.
my vote.
We're gonna get up out of here. Thank y'all for joining. Y'all be safe, and as we always say, wear a damn mask.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma